Uh-oh.
Oh, bummer on the sound, but it's open. A little bit of a dent in the top of the can. Hello, everyone, and welcome back.
Is it going to be flat?
No, I don't think so.
Because it didn't really pop. Yep.
It's hard, like... I don't think it is. It kind of tastes like it is. A little bit, like it's a little off.
It tastes like it got shaken.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It tastes okay.
It's a little off, but like not enough where I'm like, no, this is not.
No, it's drinkable.
It's
but weird, though.
Welcome back to the show.
Oops. No one wants to hear that. Lullabies.
A few notes that I have taken down in my day since the recording last.
I feel like that's right in my cup was in the way.
Pretty sure they're all written in order. Yeah, they are. I watched, so we were at work and we got home. We ate lunch a little early, so I was able to watch The Price is Right at some point this past week. And there was an ad that was very strange. I mean, a lot of commercials are very strange. But this one was for, big shocker, because it's on during The Price is Right, life insurance. Mm-hmm. It's two older people sitting on a couch watching TV. And it's just like, the camera's just like showing them from different angles. And there's because there's a voiceover.
Oh, okay.
But the voiceover says, and I wrote it down here, I know what you're thinking. I'm going to live forever. I'm going to live forever. Death is what happens to other people. What? Who is thinking that?
People who buy whatever this life insurance is, I guess.
What person is thinking, I'm going to live forever, ever? Death is what happens to other people. Like...
Who are you, Adeline? What was that movie?
There was another line, too, that was real, like, what the fuck are you talking about? But that one really stood out as, like, why? Who wrote this?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're wrong. Death is coming for us all.
Oh, ugh.
That's not what it said, but I wrote... So I watched a thing that was movies that had cliffhanger endings that you didn't know had definitive endings. One of them is, like, Inception. Because the movie ends at a big cliffhanger. And then Michael Caine, years later, is like, well, I asked Christopher Nolan when I read the script, like, what's real and what's not? And he's like, if you're in it, it's real. And he's in it at the end, so you know that the ending is real. There was a couple of them. Oh, the movie Prisoners?
Where, like, it feels like a cliffhanger, but if you really think about it, or, like...
No, it's like...
It ends
the movie was a cliffhanger, but in the source material, in interviews, in something... Like, it's been noted in some sort of record. Like, there is an ending. This is what it was.
Got it.
Like the movie Prisoners.
I don't remember the
that Hugh Jackman movie. Yeah. Well, he gets the kid, but then she locks him in that well, like under her driveway where the kid was. But he's got that whistle.
No, I don't remember.
Because it's that lady. Remember, it's that kid's mom. You think it's that weirdo guy that they beat the shit out of in that abandoned house, but then it's his mom who's kidnapping the kids. And there's like a weird... thing under her driveway, and they find the kids, and she lets the kids go, but then she puts Hugh Jackman in the hole, but there's like a whistle or something that one of the kids had, and Jake Gyllenhaal, who's the cop, is in the lady's driveway, and she goes in to get him a cup of coffee, whatever she's getting him. Or no, is she dead? Yeah, she might be dead. I think they get there and shoot her, because she like shoots at them. But then Hugh Jackman, the way the movie ends, Hugh Jackman's blowing the whistle. And like Ryan, you see Jake Gyllenhaal like kind of like, and then he goes to walk away, and then like you faintly hear the whistle again, and he turns again, like, but then the movie just ends. So it's this kind of thing, like, did he hear Hugh Jackman's whistle, or is Hugh Jackman just gonna die in that hole?
Right.
The original written in the script ending is that he does find it.
Go back.
But they ended it on film because they thought it played better. I do think it is a better ending. I think it would have been like For a movie like that,
yeah.
As intense as that movie was, I think it would have been kind of a corny ending. For him to rescue those kids and then oh, I found him. He's down here.
Yeah.
It would have felt like a weird way to wrap that up.
Well, yeah, it would have been too neatly tied up.
Yeah.
For a movie that was.
But there was a whole bunch of them. I hear what they were. One of which was Monsters Inc. The end of Monsters Inc. Because Sully opens the door and she says whatever. It's not really a cliffhanger, I guess. It kind of is. It kind of sets up for a sequel, in my mind. Not really a cliffhanger. Or not really a... did it happen or not ending. But, because he opens the door and she's like, Kitty! And then it just shows his face and that's the end of the movie. But this video revealed what the original script for Monsters Inc. 2 was, before it was Monsters University. So it was Monsters Inc. 2, Lost in Scaradise.
Uh-oh.
So what happens is they go back through her door. And when they go back through her door, it's just some old woman. And they're like, who the fuck is this? So then the main focus of the movie was them going around the human world looking for Boo. The movie ends, I have it written here. So yeah, Mike and Sully search through human world after finding an old woman on life support behind Boo's door. They find that, so the way the movie ends, they find that time passes much faster in the human world than it does in the monster world. And the old woman on life support is Boo.
No.
But here's the real fucked part of this movie.
She dies?
She recognizes them right before she dies.
Ew.
They have a reunion at the end of the movie right before she dies.
What? Who at Pixar was like, I have a great idea? And then everyone thought, yeah.
I heard that and I was just like, Jesus Christ. That would be... I'm sure it would play a lot differently than it's just written. But to hear that description is like, holy shit.
That's dark.
Well, how does the movie end? Just that? You just, kind of pull out on them next to her in bed and then, fade to black?
I guess.
Or is there a funeral? What? How do you go from that ending? And, I'm very adamant that Pixar movies are not for children. Children can watch them, but no part of the plot is ever for children.
Right, they're made...
That's beyond.
Yeah, that's... that's too much.
That's the first 10 minutes of Up as an entire film.
Yeah, we just don't need that. I would not have been seeing that.
Well, what I want to know is... Because initially in the video, so I put that when they go through the door the first time, she's on life support. But I don't know. Because she says it at the end in the description of the video. So then my question is, is she going with them through human world? Or does, she stay in the bed? Is she on life support when they first see her? Or is she just some old woman?
Well, wouldn't... No, she can't be going around because, if she recognizes them on her deathbed, then, if her dying breath is to be oh, Kitty, she's not going with them to find herself.
I mean, she would... know. It didn't give enough of those details, but then I wondered that, so do you come through the door and see this old woman and then just, blow her off for...
Probably.
The next 90 minutes?
Probably.
Or, do you keep going back there? When it turns nighttime,
right.
It's that you go back there as, home base?
Yeah, we're just...
And you're just, chilling with this old lady who you don't know?
Yeah. We sleep in her room. It's fine.
Or do they keep, going in and out of Monster World? More time is passing kind of thing? I don't know.
Maybe.
But I heard that description, and I was just like, Jesus Christ.
No, thank you.
Yeah, when they revealed in that video, oh yeah, they realized that Boo is the old woman. And she recognizes them just before dying. I'm like, holy shit. we touched on this last night in conversation, but I didn't go into it fully because of doing it on the show. This whole thing with, excuse me, Luigi Mangione. Is it Mangione? Is there any confirmation to that?
That's what everyone keeps saying.
I think everyone keeps saying that because his first name is Luigi. And I think people think it's funnier to say Luigi Mangione.
I don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure that name is pronounced Mangione.
I don't know.
I don't either. But anyways, this whole thing with him getting caught at a McDonald's. And I will preface this to the listeners and the viewers. We decorated my parents' Christmas tree. We have, from when I was younger, an ornament of, it's like a McDonald's sign with Santa sitting on it. But you can put the Christmas light in a little hole and the word McDonald's like lights up. The red part of the sign lights up. I joked that I wasn't going to hang that ornament because snitches get stitches. And my mom says to me, well, that lady's getting like $50,000 for turning him in. And I went, so? And she went, you wouldn't have turned him in for $50,000? And I'm like, I didn't say that, but I don't know that I would have. And the next day I had to call her. So do you know like all the ins and outs of her not getting that money?
So someone...
Because I do. So I was just wondering if you did.
Someone in the restaurant said, like, she's the employee. She hears people saying, like, I think that's him.
Yeah.
So she calls 911. And then they, like, come and get him.
Yeah.
And she does not get the money because the reward came from the FBI. And she called 911. She did not call the tip line. So
that's not wholly accurate.
And then she also got fired because she didn't ask.
I didn't know that.
She didn't ask to take a break to use her personal cell phone.
I didn't know that. So you've got like two parts of a reason put together. So the total reward offered was $60,000. $10,000 was offered from the NYPD tip line.
Okay.
So regardless, she is not getting $10,000 because she did not call the NYPD tip line. She called 911. Which, why would someone in Altoona, Pennsylvania, call the NYPD tip line?
But also, shouldn't I be calling 911?
Yeah.
I have a suspected murderer in my restaurant.
But the $50,000 was offered by the FBI. There is a possibility that she could still get that money.
Oh, because they're saying, like, it's not him?
No. So what happens is, it didn't give a lot of details as to what this actually is, but there's some weird meeting, committee thing that happens, where she has to be nominated to receive the money. You cannot self-nominate, so someone else has to nominate her. Then, if she gets nominated, it goes through whatever committee and process to get approved. Once it is approved by this committee, it then goes to the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State then has to approve it, but also within the limits of the law, whatever that means, the Secretary of State can choose to change the amount of money you are given as a reward.
So why do they even offer... Oh, but that's just like an FBI reward. Because, like, sometimes...
Well, it's to incentivize people to turn
Yeah, but
people
sometimes, like, if something happened, like, to you or to me, and I could offer up a reward, and then people could match it. But, like, I think that goes through different channels than, like, that. The FBI reward. Like... It's not always that, like, bureaucratic.
No, not usually.
Just this one. Or maybe it is. I never knew anyone.
I think if it's offered by the FBI, by the police, whoever, I think if it's a government entity, it will always be like that.
But, like, now I'm wondering...
Because the government's not going to... No government entity, whether it's a sheriff's office... Well, maybe a sheriff's office is a little different, but, like, whether it's a police department or it's the FBI...
They're just going to dole that money.
No one from the bottom to the top... is going to offer you $50,000, you find the guy, and then just cut you a check for $50,000.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
At best, you might get, we'll say, 10, and that's generous. And they're going to give you like, oh, well, taxes and this and that and whatever.
You have to pay the police fund.
Yeah, there's a policeman's ball fee. There's taxes. There's, we had to pay all the guys that had to come out that weren't on shift that day to deal with it. And it's all some runaround. But I called my mom when I found that out. And I was like, so the answer is no. I wouldn't have turned him in for no money. And now knowing what you're telling me, no, I would not have turned him in for no money and I lose my job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that's like just things that I've seen like in like the chattery videos. I can't confirm that, but that seems like an odd detail like to include if it's not true.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't.
My mom's like, it's that kind of shit that encourages people to do, like, when you were in school and you got in trouble for calling your teacher a butthole, which we have talked about on this show, and, like, that encouraged you to lie about it so you wouldn't get in trouble. It's, like, that same kind of shit. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, this isn't new. This is what the government does all the time.
It encourages me to lie that I never saw him.
Yeah, it encourages people to, like, no. Why would I turn that guy in for no reason? If there's nothing in it for me, why would I do anything about it?
Well, but also, like, isn't that how it's always been? Like, people.
That's what I was like.
People are like.
That's what I was like. This isn't new. People minding their own fucking business. It's not a new thing. In other cases, like that guy who escaped from prison and was running around here. Well, that's a little different.
People were eager
because
to
he's
turn
murdering people for no reason.
Well, and it was like one or two people he murdered, but he was.
Or like you're gonna turn in school shooters, but like. When the climate is what it is about this guy who murdered a healthcare CEO.
Everyone's sort of like, well, kind of pretty much know he's not going to do it again.
Yeah.
Or like the general public's not really at risk here.
But I just thought it was so funny when I saw that, and then I called my mom, and I'm like, yeah, so the answer is no. I would not have turned him in for no money.
I think I would just be so nervous that I'm wrong.
Yeah. Which I guess, like, well... Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you make a tip and they come out and investigate. Like, as long as that was an honest.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't just call him, but look at this asshole. Let's call 911 and tell him he's a murderer. Like, because I mean, I've certainly called 911 to report things.
Yeah.
But never like, oh, I saw this guy on the news and I think he might be here. Like that feels like it's much higher stakes than just like, hey, my neighbors are screaming at each other. Can you send someone out here?
And that's something you're witnessing.
Right.
That's not, oh, this guy's picture was on TV and it looks a lot like him.
Yeah, like I'm
this blurry CCTV camera image from this angle. Oh, it looks like that guy. Like,
I mean, that's
the other hilarious thing that people are pointing out. Because there is the big question mark of, like, is it that guy?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are pointing out, like...
His unibrow.
You can't fucking tell what the guy in that picture looks like. Unless you're from that angle, that's him.
I think there's one good angle.
Yeah.
Because, like, Christina pointed out, like, his unibrow in the picture from McDonald's, he has a unibrow. And in the picture from, like, just a few days beforehand, he does not. So, like, what kind of guy's grown a unibrow in 48 hours?
When people pointed out, too, like, well, what's weirder still... I apologize for blowing my nose on this show. This is, it's wintertime in Pennsylvania, folks. But... my nose kind of itches. What's weirder too is, like, you bring up the unibrow, and there's a lot of like, oh well, they recognized him because of his eyebrows, and it's like so.
But they don't look the same.
There's a lot of disparaging comments in the eyebrows. Number one, number two. Not saying you can't have the attitude of like, who gives a shit. But, like, other people are pointing out, kind of seriously, kind of jokingly, like, you straight up, like, Assassin's Creed Hitman style murder somebody on the sidewalk in New York. You are now wanted nationwide.
Right. And you're just wrong.
You don't change your appearance at all.
Right.
Like...
Dye your hair.
You got some bushy fucking Martin Scorsese eyebrows. You don't trim them, shave them, dye them. Like, you do nothing to your appearance?
Yeah.
That seems weird. Like I said, I'm not saying you can't have the attitude of, like, find me. I dare you. But also, like...
But also, you dare me to find you when you're just using your own credit card at a McDonald's?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I don't know if... Because they didn't catch him from... Like, they couldn't track him.
Yeah.
So he didn't... I guess he didn't use his own.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But, like, you just rolled into a McDonald's and were just ordering your McRib.
Yeah. Luigi loved McRibs. And then this is going to be a little bit of a chunk of our conversation, I'm sure, because we'll go back and forth. And unfortunately, now I want to watch it again, but I will never have time. Free with Ads did Titanic in their latest episode.
Okay.
And it was...
And that movie's always fresh in my mind.
So Free with Ads is Emily Fleming, Jordan Morris, and Matt Lieb from Mythical and other things. Very funny podcast. I really enjoy it. I highly recommend it. Their guest was John Gabris. Also very funny. He pointed out a lot of things that I never thought about in terms of that movie. So one that they joked about a lot, which I did know, but never really thought about, is the fact that Titanic is two separate movies, like two separate genres of movie smashed together. Because, like, the first half is just like a straight up romance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a period romance.
And the second half is an action movie.
Yeah.
From him being handcuffed and her having to shoot his handcuffs off, which...
No,
the axe. And when you watch that movie, she clearly fucking hits his hands. Because we watched it recently. And I'm like, she very clearly chops his hand clean off. But there's that.
Yeah.
Then, like, all the stuff where they nearly drown. Them with the group of people having to break the barricade down from the people trying to lock them in the lower part of the boat. Them locking all the people down in, like, where the engines and shit are.
The guy drops the keys.
The guy dropping, like, all of that.
And the music gets, like, real
The music, the guy who, the deckhand that shoots himself, them shooting that guy that Jack was hanging out with a couple times on the boat.
Fabrizio.
No, Fabrizio gets hit by the tower.
Yeah, it's his other friend.
It's his other, maybe his Irish friend?
Yeah.
Because Fabrizio is his Italian friend. But there's a lot of, like, and I never really thought about the fact of, like, oh yeah, this is, like, two separate genres of film.
In the original, when you had to put in, like, the second VHS, it's like, oh, I watched Titanic 1, and now I'm going to watch Titanic 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Like, yeah.
But it was really funny, because they talked about,
so
and you'll be proud, I don't do it often, but they were talking about different things that I commented on Spotify. And I commented on their post on Instagram because I talked about, like, James Cameron being obsessed with submersibles and how, like, and they did bring up, like, is Bill Paxton just playing James Cameron in this movie?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Like how him and Paxton became so buddy, and they were talking about and they talked, of course, a lot about the drawing scene, but they didn't mention the two things that you and I both talk about. So I did comment my dorky self, like.
Those are his hands.
Well, yes, I did comment, like, in the drawing scene, the hands you see drawing Kate Winslet are James Cameron's hands. And you talk about James Cameron being obsessed with submersibles. I was like, the morning of 9/11, Bill Paxton and James Cameron were on the deck of the Titanic in a submersible. And then when they came up, they found out that 9/11 was happening.
Or had happened.
No, I think it was happening.
Ugh. They're like, you know what? We're going to go back down.
Because I don't think, you can't say... They would have had to have been there for... They would have had to have been down for a while for it to have been had happened.
No, because... I'm pretty sure, like... Because the two hits were close.
But you're talking in terms of, like...
No.
What, like, the hits on the towers and the Pentagon and whatever. And, like, once those moments were done, in hindsight, everything was done. Like, then it was just search and rescue and clean up and whatever.
There was, like, heightened
but
all day.
Yeah, my point... Well, there was heightened for, like...
Yeah, but, like, that whole day, no one
knew...
The
next week, minimum.
Like, what was going to happen with all...
So that's more my point of, like, was happening.
Yeah.
Not had happened.
We were in the midst.
But, yeah, and they talked about... You should listen to it. It's very funny and very, like... Because Gabrus is... In the midst of the jokes, Gabrus is, like, adding these real deep... Like, and it's just the brilliance in the filmmaking and the callbacks to different shit. Like, the callback to her dropping her robe in the drawing scene and then her dropping her coat when she has to dive underwater and save Jack. Later on in the movie. Like, those are two, like, it's supposed to mirror each other, kind of. And then the whole thing with, I mean, they were all furious at the end of the movie. They're like, I don't know if I was this mad when I saw it originally, but watching it as an adult, when she throws that thing in the water, I'm like, fuck you, you old bitch. Like, how dare you?
You didn't want to give it to your kids?
Well, Emily brings up, like, so she dies and goes back on the Titanic with Jack. Clearly, she was married to somebody else.
And had kids.
And had kids. Where is her husband?
Well, he's obviously dead. But, like, where's her daughter, too? Because the lady that's with her is her granddaughter.
Yeah,
or
but
son.
Well, you don't know that her daughter or son is dead. Her granddaughter's just there. But you could assume that her husband is dead.
Nana.
You could assume that her husband is dead.
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
So they're like, could you... And then they posited, like, the whole thing of the afterlife and whatever, and... Like, the way it's presented in that movie. And they're like, could you imagine just some old guy in, like, an Afterlife TGI Fridays? Like, where the fuck is she?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was her favorite spot. He's just there waiting for her. But then, Gabrus brings up, like... And I think Emily, one of them jokes about, like, well, is it hell? Like, are they not really in heaven? Is that hell? And then I think it's Gabrus says, like, I thought that, too. Because I'm like... Sure, you met Jack on that boat, but, like, you almost died and tons of other fucking people around you died.
What?
Why is that what you would want to relive?
All the people that are in
eternity?
The waiting room died with the boat.
Yeah. So he's like, why is that what you would want to relive for all eternity? I would not want to do that ever again.
A lot of people often say, like, did she never tell her family that she was on the Titanic?
Well, that's what a lot of people are like. She brings this up to her grandchild and then, like, to Bill Paxton and the computer guy on the boat, like, and they're bringing this up and they're all just like, okay, you crazy old bitch. And it's like, did you really never tell anyone that you were on the fucking Titanic?
And then, like, okay,
so how old?
Bill Paxton has devoted his whole life to
the Titanic.
Yeah, this old
and the heart of the ocean, basically, is what the movie is positing.
This old lady's like, I was on the Titanic and I've never told a soul. Like, is the Titanic not a big deal in the universe that you're existing in?
Well, and they call bullshit that, like, all these paintings and stuff that were on the boat were ruined, but then his charcoal drawings did because they were in the safe. They're like, bullshit.
I mean, well, here's the thing. Like,
they're like, that thing was underwater for how long? I don't care what kind of safe it is in. Those drawings are fucked.
Well, and you think, like, okay, so they're watertight, but when he takes the money out, it's muddy.
Yeah.
So
when they bring up, like, how triggering was it to this old woman that this fucking dorky guy is just like, oh, here's a rendering in 3D how the boat sank, and I'm gonna walk you through how this boat sank. They're like, you think that old woman sitting back there like having PTSD flashbacks?
Well, she says like it's very nice, but I remember it a little differently.
Yeah, well, and Emily's like, it gave me real, like, are you proud of me, Grandma? Vibes. Like, look what I can do with a computer. Are you proud of me now?
Yeah.
Like, she's like, that's the vibe it gave me, what that guy was doing.
Or they're, like, treating Rose as if, like, she has dementia and, like, she's just making up stories about it.
Yeah, they're treating her like she's some kooky old woman who's just like, I was on the Titanic.
It's like, yeah, you saw my tits just, like, 5 seconds ago. So, like, that's me. You want me to prove it? Like, whoa.
Well, they don't look the same, so she could have proved it. They'd be like, no, I don't see it.
They're like, oh, okay, if you say so.
They're like, okay, maybe that's where they were. Maybe that's where they were 84 years ago, but now they're on the floor.
84 years.
Now they're on the floor, so.
You know, she's living her best life. She learned to ride side saddle? No. Full saddle. With her legs.
Yep. All the things Jack wanted her to do.
She flew an airplane.
And then she died and gave her husband the middle finger.
But, you're going to die a very old woman alone in your bed.
Yeah.
And that's what she does.
Your husband will already be dead. And then when you die, you will not go to see him. You will come back to me.
You'll come back to me, the peasant boy, who gets accused of trying to rape you over the back of a boat.
They did bring up, so they make it a point that, like, and there's, like, Gabris added so much shit I did not think of in terms of, like, the depth of the writing of this movie. But I guess it's also because, like, I saw it when I was super young and then didn't watch it again until we just watched it recently. And I didn't, like, it's not one of those things, like, I hate to admit it. I do like it.
It's a great movie.
It is a good movie.
It's so good.
Do I think it's, like, as good as everybody louds it to be? No. But
I mean, I think it got, because it lost.
Well, I think for its time,
did it,
yes.
Or did it get Best Picture? I don't remember.
I don't either.
Because it was Avatar that lost to his ex-wife.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. The Hurt Locker won that year. Well, Best Director.
It
wasn't Best Picture. No, it wasn't.
So Titanic probably did win a bunch of stuff. And, like, it is. It's a very deep movie. There's a lot of, like...
Best Picture, 1998. Best Director, 98. Best Original Score. Best Production Design. Best Cinematography. Best Costume Design.
Wow.
Best Film Editing. Best Visual Effects. Excuse me. Best Sound Mixing. Best Sound Editing. Best Actress, Kate Winslet. Best Supporting Actress, Gloria Stewart. Best Makeup and Hairstyling.
Wow.
Oh, no. Sorry. Best Actress was a nominee. Who won? Halle Berry. No? That's just showing me a picture of Halle Berry. I don't care about 2024. Why when I click on 1998s would you take me to 2024s?
Well, they think, while you're here.
Yeah. Oh, you must be looking for this.
Like, I don't think it was undeserving of that
1998 Best Actress.
What would Halle for Catwoman?
It wasn't Halle Berry. Helen Hunt for As Good as It Gets.
Ugh. Wow. Wow.
I like Helen Hunt.
I hate As Good as It Gets.
Yeah, not for that movie.
Do you think we missed something?
Maybe Twister.
Like when we watched The Shining and I was
No, that movie was awful. I watched it because I wanted to like it. But because I like Greg Kinnear, I like Helen Hunt, I like Jack Nicholson. It was
really bad.
Awful.
It was really bad. And I like something
How
Johnny
people
Depp.
feel about watching what's his name? Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's how I feel watching Jack Nicholson in As Good as It Gets. The difference is Mickey Rooney is being racist by playing an Asian man. He's being racist in real life.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson in As Good as It Gets is just being a racist, homophobic, sexist asshole for the entire movie. And then at the end, he doesn't change. None of them do. And I'm like, what was this movie?
It was not. I did not like it.
Oh, it was bad.
And so many people do like it, where I was like, what did we miss?
Best Supporting Actress winner was...
What did we not understand?
Kim Basinger for L.A. Confidential.
Oh, okay.
Basinger,
yeah.
The other nominees were Joan Cusack for In and Out.
What?
That movie was nominated for an Academy Award. Do you remember that movie? We watched it. It's that one with Kevin Kline, where he's the news reporter and he's engaged to Joan Cusack, and then like one of his students writes a book and he goes on TV, and I think his student is coming out as gay. And then says like, oh, it really helped that whatever teacher was gay.
Yeah.
And then it's Kevin Kline and he's like, I'm not gay. But then like by the end of the movie you find out that he is gay. Like, he comes to the epiphany at some point that he is gay. Tom Selleck is also in it.
Yep.
A real weird movie. Not one I would think is nominated for any Academy Awards.
No, but okay.
Minnie Driver for Good Will Hunting. Yeah. Julianne Moore for Boogie Nights. And Gloria Stewart for Titanic. That's the year that Robin Williams won Best Supporting Actor for Good Will Hunting.
Oh.
Best Actor went to Jack Nicholson for As Good as It Gets.
Yeah, like I just...
Best original screenplay went to Matt Damon and Ben Affleck for Good Will Hunting.
And I didn't care for Good Will Hunting either. And so, which happens often, where it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't care for Rocky, and that fucking thing won Best Picture.
Yeah. I mean, it was the 70s, so, you know.
Yeah, like, can we stop pretending that Sylvester Stallone is a good writer? Because that movie was dog shit. I'm going to say it, come after me all you want. If that movie came out in 2024, it would be like when The Star is Born came out, and everything that talks about that movie would be like, it's really a great study in mental illness. Because every character in this movie has mental illness and are clearly mentally disabled. And that's what the point of this movie is.
Yeah.
Because I watched that movie. I tried on multiple occasions to watch it. And then when I finally did watch it, I'm like, this is unbearable. Because every single one of you is mentally disabled. But, like, you're acting as if you're not. And you're mentally disabled in a way like you're all morons. But you're also all socially awkward and inept. And none of you can talk to each other where it sounds natural.
Which is weird, because who did those?
What do you mean, who did them?
Who directed them?
Him.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure those were, like, written, directed, and starring Sylvester Stallone.
I don't think it was written by him.
It was. He wrote the Rocky movies.
Well, then he's like George Lucas, where it's like, have you talked to other people? Not just women. All of his dialogue is clunky.
Like, good Lord. I mean, also, maybe you should hire an actor who doesn't talk like this in every role that he does.
Hey, old Tiger.
Hey, old Tiger, we're getting married. You can't understand the fucking words I'm saying.
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Cut me, Mick. Cut me.
It's me and Tony Danza. We sound exactly the same.
Tony Danza, you can absolutely understand.
Screenplay by Sylvester Stallone.
Oh,
director John G. Alvidson.
Oh.
What else did you direct? Because I've literally never heard of you.
Or are Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like different directors?
The Karate Kid Part 2, The Karate Kid Part 3, Rocky 5, The Karate Kid, Inferno, The Power of One,
Are you
Rocky.
going backwards?
They're just listed on...
Because why was Karate Kid down so far?
It's just how they're listed. I don't know. Because it's 86, 89, 90, 84, 99, 92, Lean on Me, Save the Tiger, Neighbors.
What?
With John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd.
Oh. I was like, that modern movie?
For Keeps with Molly Ringwald. They all look like shit. I think
I might have seen For Keeps.
I never saw Karate Kid.
Oh my god.
I also realized when I put the Grinch...
It's a great movie.
When I put the Grinch in and they had the trailer for the re-release of E.T. I've never seen E.T. Not beginning to end, at least.
That's good. You should see Karate Kid, though.
Ouch. I think I should see E.T.
I would watch the Karate Kid before E.T. Danielson.
So I can watch the fight at the end and go like, you didn't win. That kick is illegal. We all heard the rules. That's an illegal kick. You didn't win.
You only know that because of modern times. That wasn't...
No, you know that when the movie comes out because they explain the rules of that fight.
Yeah,
and people just ignore it.
Yes.
So everyone's like, woo, what a feel-good ending. And then people went back and watched it again, and they're like, wait a minute. What you did was illegal.
Karate Kid 2 might be the girl from $1 Million Baby.
I don't know.
I forget what her name is. And like P.S. I Love You.
Oh, what is her name?
I can see her. I just don't know what her name is.
Oh, for some reason my mind is something Natalie Portman. I know it's not who that is.
No, that's not it. But I can see her. I just don't know what her name is.
Oh, fuck. Hilary Swank.
Yeah, there it is.
I didn't even get to her IMDb page yet.
Like, she has a funny last name, but...
I don't know why my mind keeps saying Natalie Portman. I'm like, that's not who that is.
I'm pretty sure she's the girl. Karate Kid.
But as I was saying with Titanic, Oh,
there's a bug. I thought...
that ladybug.
I thought the light was flickering.
They really make a big deal that Kate Winslet is bringing all these paintings on board.
The Picasso. Something Picasso. Emily
dropped the bomb that there were no paintings like that on board the Titanic. Like, no, that in reality, in history, there were no, like, priceless paintings on the Titanic. I don't know, because there weren't.
But how do they know that?
Because they would have been down in the wreckage. And there probably would have been records of it.
We didn't find the Titanic until, like, the 1980s.
Yeah, but there would have been, like, stuff still... Like, the remnants would have still been there.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have ever known... Like, whatever was on the canvas would be long gone. There's actually no...
Not necessarily.
There's nothing, really.
And there would have been record. You think they weren't writing down, like, oh, I brought my priceless Van Gogh with me on board the Titanic. It's right here in my ledger.
People weren't moving, right? They were taking this just for, like, leisure.
I think so. Well, she was going back. She was going back home to America. Because she wants to stay in Paris. Which they also point out, like, and I never, like, this is something I never put thought to that John Gabris then illuminated for me. Like, because Emily, they're all, like, watching this in the lens of an adult in 2024, Jack is a fuckboy.
Yeah.
Like, because at one point, Emily's like, when I watched this when it came out, I hated her mother. I watch this now, and I'm like, your mom is right. Like, Cal is an asshole, but that guy's gonna fuck you and then leave. Like, they're like, he chose to drown, so he didn't have to stay with her. Because he didn't want to.
Even in 2024, I'm still saying you gotta get away, as far away from Cal as you
Well, that's
can.
what they were saying. They're not saying stay with him, but also he's not what you think he is. Like,
no, yeah.
He's going to pump you and dump you when you get off that boat. Like,
well, no, he's not, because he sees a meal ticket in you.
Yeah, but he's not going to be... He's going to be running around on her like crazy, because he's a fuckboy.
I don't know.
I'm just here painting hookers in Paris, like...
Because he's broke.
Okay.
So he's just
They're not paying him to paint those, to draw those hookers.
You loved her.
So...
She was a one-eyed prostitute.
One-legged. One of them's missing a leg or an arm.
And then because he put...
Well, because they made a big deal about, like, you didn't see the stump. Like, when they talk about it, I'm really expecting them to flip that camera around and there's a drawing of a prostitute with a stump. And they never show it.
They don't show any of it.
I was really mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I thought that too last time we watched it.
He clearly shows her something and then she reacts like, oh.
Yeah. It's probably,
like,
like a real sketchy Leonardo DiCaprio, like, hand drawing of a penis.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, oh, like that's the blooper.
Yeah.
It's him just doing this.
He opens the notebook like beep.
Well, he's holding it like this, and he flips and he flips the book open.
Was it a thing in 1997?
Probably.
I don't remember when.
I don't know how long it took to film. Was it 96?
I'm sure. It might have even been 95. Honestly. Well,
probably filmed it. It was all the editing.
Well, yeah, like they had to shoot and then, yeah.
But yeah, they brought up all the paintings and stuff like that. But then that's where Gabris pointed out, like, well, the reason she's with him and the reason she's so drawn to him is because they address at the beginning that she is obsessed with art and she loves art. And he is an artist and he sees her as a work of art. Which is what she wants to be seen as.
Right.
And Cal does not do that.
And he doesn't like art at all.
And yeah, so it's very like, he is what she is embodying in the beginning of, like, what they're telling you she wants at the beginning of the movie.
He's filling every, like, every box that Cal can't.
And they talk a lot about, Emily's favorite line is, I would rather be his whore than your wife. Gabris was watching it with, I think he's married.
That's my favorite part.
I think he's married. He's like, I was watching this with my wife. And when she gets on that lifeboat and then jumps off, I looked at my wife and I said, I'm telling you right now, if we are ever in a situation like that, stay the fuck on that lifeboat. Don't fucking jump off and do some dumb shit to come look for me. Either we're going to both live and we're going to find each other, or I'm going to die and you're going to live. Stay on that fucking lifeboat.
Well, that's what happened. He's kissing her. You're so stupid, Rose. Why did you do that? You're so stupid.
Oh, God.
I mean, she's pretty stupid.
She is pretty stupid. Well, they also pointed out, like, things I never thought about in terms of the boat itself and, like, historicalness, not just for the movie, because these were real things. They're like, so you built this massive boat. You don't have enough lifeboats for the amount of people on board, yet you have an entire fucking chapel. Like, you have so much shit on this boat that does not matter and was not necessary.
It's not a matter of that they didn't have the space for the boats. They opted not to because they were too crowding on the sun deck.
No, but that's the point.
First class.
But the point they're making is, like, instead of worrying about having more lifeboats and putting them literally fucking anywhere, you are more concerned about building chapels and these elaborate dining rooms and, like, all this shit you didn't need.
But I think at the time, it was like... And I guess the cruises are the same way now, but, like, you're on this boat, everything you need is right here. Your Sunday church.
Well, and how else do you get the scene of the priest saying last rites at the...
Well, there could have been
at the end of the movie.
I think that there's always a chaplain everywhere. Like
a priest being there is one thing, but you got to really put the... And this, again...
He's not doing last rites. He's saying...
Whatever.
Yea, as I walk through the valley of death.
I mean, it might as well have been last rites, am I right, folks?
I mean, he dies.
Yeah. And they bring up, like, the brilliant acting, which we've talked about before, because, like, Victor Garber is amazing in that movie. He's the one that... designed the boat?
I want to go faster. He's the little guy?
No.
Or he's the tall one in the...
Victor Garber is
I think says, like,
Victor Garber is the one... Victor Garber is the one in that great shot where the boat is already leaning and he's, like, leaning against the wall and he fixes the clock.
Yep.
That's Victor Garber. You're thinking of the guy who plays...
Robin
Jumanji. Williams' dad in Jumanji. Yeah, you're thinking of him. He designed it.
No, the guy that you're talking
Victor
about.
Victor Garber designed it.
And this other guy's like financial.
Yeah, he financed it all and...
I want to go faster.
And then cut corners.
No, they didn't cut corners for money. They cut corners because they didn't want to cloud up the sun deck for the first class passengers.
Yeah, but they didn't... It's not that they cut corners for the lifeboats. They cut corners, period. Because that boat shouldn't have sank.
Well, there was like... Something else happened to it.
Well, when they talked about locking...
Like, it had a fire before it left.
They talked about locking all the people downstairs, where the coal is. And they're like, I could have given you a pass if it was, like, a door that water wasn't going to get in there. But, like, it's essentially a fucking baby gate you put in your kitchen doorway from keeping your kid out of the kitchen. Like, it's not anything major. And then you just lock it. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Oh, man. And they did. They addressed it right at the top. They're like, it's weird watching this now. Because it is prevalent as ever. Like, really shows the dichotomy of wealth versus poverty. Because the whole reason that boat sank is because some asshole wanted to be famous in the newspaper, which is the modern equivalent of I wanted to be famous on the internet. He wanted his picture in the paper because he got there early.
Yes, but it was because that was Captain Smith's final sale.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But that's how he convinces him.
So he said, wouldn't it be great if we got there early?
Yeah.
That's like, I want to go fast.
Yeah, so he convinced him, like, you'll have your picture in the paper and you'll be a legend. Like,
but that's not why. That's not the only reason. It's because the guy in the crow's nest didn't have binoculars.
Yeah, which they did talk about that, too. Like, you don't have anything? There wasn't a child on board with fucking toy binoculars?
No, there should have been.
Yeah.
It was like some weird thing, or it was like that night they weren't up there, and the guy couldn't see
But also, if you weren't going that speed.
And they have to, like, blow that whistle or whatever up there.
If you weren't going that speed, you wouldn't have that problem.
It's like a tractor trailer. You can't stop or turn on a dime.
No, but if they would have been going slower than they were, they could have made a greater effort. Like, at the speed they were going, you couldn't do anything but hit it.
Yeah, it wasn't helpful.
If you would have been going the speed you should have been going, you probably could have avoided it.
I mean, they all still got their picture on the paper.
Yeah, they did. Just on the wrong page.
Mm-hmm. And there was, like, in real life, I don't think they touch on it in the movie at all, which is kind of shocking. They should have, like, stuck her in there somewhere. But there's a nurse that survived all 3 boat sinkings.
They said that they want a movie that's about the guy that DiCaprio beats for the tickets.
No.
They want, like, a one-off movie of that guy, like, that day and then the day after the boat sinks.
Yeah, right? You got to throw Milton Hershey in there.
I want them to redo it that Milton Hershey is who he beats for the tickets.
Milton's like, listen, I got to
Like, what he throws on the table is 2 tickets and a Hershey bar.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, just take it.
I don't think he did that yet.
He didn't, but it would still... Because you're doing it in posterity. That's my point.
I mean, he was probably doing something.
Because also, that didn't happen. Because Jack's not real.
No.
So, to do that in the movie would be very funny to know, like, Milton Hershey was supposed to be on the Titanic and wasn't. So then put him in that scene of, like, here's 2 tickets and a Hershey bar.
I want to, like, read a Titanic, like, book. Or, like, when we go to the Titanic Museum or something, and then rewatch the movie to see how many, like, because the unsinkable Molly Brown is real. She was a real person. The Macy's are real.
Yeah.
Like, how many...
Which, there again, that's also valid. Like, how did they know that?
That's how they died?
Yeah.
Well, they don't. They just know that they didn't attempt to get on a lifeboat.
I guess.
Because they were super old.
I don't know. They didn't address it, though, on that show, which makes sense because only Matt has kids. But they kept talking about all the stuff with the lifeboats and all the drama and, like, the acting of the band going down and the acting of, like, the chef who's up with Jack and Rose on the back when they climb over the railing. And the acting, like I said, of all the deckhands that, like, kill that guy and then he kills himself and, like, all that. And the acting of the dad from Jumanji when he jumps on the boat and, like, will not look at the guy. And the guy's just, like, staring daggers at him and he refuses to look at him.
And that's true.
Yes, it is. Because he did survive.
But remember, we did find out that guy who shoots himself, everyone's like, oh, how terrible. And it's like, well, he wasn't that great to begin with. Isn't that the guy that, like, before he was working on the Titanic, like, he had...
Well, I don't think he actually... I don't think that happens.
But I thought
because didn't I find out from Unspooled that he doesn't shoot himself, and then they had to apologize to his family? Like, that's not what happened.
But then, like, in reality, the guy that's supposed to be...
Yeah, you like, looked up, like,
his wife.
Yeah, it was a whole thing, but...
And, like, he did a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I don't remember.
You don't have to apologize.
I don't remember all of it.
It's fine.
But,
yes, I knew there was, like, something with
just staring daggers through him, because he's supposed to go down with the ship, and doesn't.
No, you don't have to. It's just like...
Yeah, but you should. And the guy that's looking at him works on the boat, so he knows, like, you should be fucking here, dude.
The only one that should is the captain. But he does not have to.
Well, usually the guy who built the boat is not on the boat. So I think
remember we looked it up. Like,
but I think with him being the one who built it, and him being on the boat, he should also... The maritime
law is just that the captain has to stay on the boat until all of his crew is...
Yes.
Taken to safety.
Yes.
And we said that the captain of the Titanic did not leave because he knew that he could not.
Yeah.
So that's a, like, scary scene, I think. Where he's standing at the wheel and, like, all of the glass breaks. That's scary. In my mind. It's too much water. Titanic's the reason I don't want to go on a cruise. Even though that's not it.
I don't think there was anything else for it. Well, they wanted more. Emily thought they should focus. They needed to do more with Kathy Bates as the unsinkable Molly Brown.
I love her. I came home and lit a fire. That's like the best.
Well, like I said, they didn't address it. The part that got me last time we watched it, all the stuff on the lifeboats, I could have given a fuck about anything happening with Rose and Jack.
It's the dad.
No part of
There's
this.
There's another boat for the dad.
It's bad for me. Yeah, it's a mother and 2 kids, and the kids are like begging him to get on the boat, and he's like, "It's fine. I'll meet you when we get to shore," or whatever he's saying. And he's like, "I'll get on the next one," and I'm sitting on my couch fucking sobbing. I'm like, Jesus
These
Christ.
boats are just for the mummies and the babies. The next boat is for the daddies.
Yeah.
sorry, pal, the next boat's
Well, he's telling his kids, like, the next boat's for the daddies. And then they're like, well, we want you to get on. Like, they're begging him. And he's like, it's fine. I'll be fine. And then, like, as they're starting to lower the boat, he's still yelling to them, like, I'll be okay. And I'm like, no, you fucking won't, dude. Holy shit.
We know. We all know you didn't make it.
Yeah.
You know who didn't make it? Cal.
Well, then it's more like...
Please, she's all I have.
And then it's more, like I said, I'm watching it, and I don't know if it's because I know, like, Jack is not a real person, Rose is not a real person, Cal is not a real person. I don't know if that's why none of that is making me emotional in the slightest watching this movie.
I think it's because the lines that they use.
I think it's I'm watching a dad and his wife and 2 kids, and I'm like, this would be me. This would have been me in this situation.
Well, it won't be us because we won't ever be on a boat. So
no, but if it, like...
Yeah.
Just the hypothetical of, like, if that was us.
Yeah. But it's the lines that they use in that scene are very, like... Because the dad he's not crying. He's very calm.
I think he starts to when the boat
Yeah, but once when he's saying... But it's the lady who's reading to her kids.
Yeah.
And the Macy's.
Well, that's what I said, like, talking about it being 2 different movies. Like, the first half is a straight romance movie.
And slow.
Hardly anything happens.
Yeah, it's just...
And the second half, like, you're seeing close-ups of, like, frozen dead kids. And, like...
It's only adults.
I'm pretty sure one of those ladies is holding a baby.
Oh.
I'm pretty certain there's one person holding a baby. Yeah. It's like...
Yeah, James Cameron, that was a choice.
There's lots of... And I'm pretty sure they get a close-up. Because there's lots of frozen dead bodies. I'm pretty sure there's a close-up of a woman holding a baby. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you didn't have to go there.
Well, there's like that. When the guy shoots himself, it is very visceral. Like, there is a lot of kind of like horror elements in the end of Titanic. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And I understand, like, this shit actually happened. That, like, there is a reason for putting it there for that sake.
It's not gratuitous.
But it's also one of those things of, like, I just watched an hour and a half of the movie that was not this.
Yes.
And then, like, the second half is what a traditional James Cameron movie is. Like,
the first half is, like, in comparison to the second half, is almost boring.
Yeah.
I never watched the second tape, honestly.
You should. The second tape's the only one you should watch.
Watch the first one and then...
Just watch the second one.
We know how it ends.
Your favorite line is in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should be watching only the second one. What are you getting in the first one besides when Cal loses his shit and flips that table over?
Where to, miss?
It's the best scene. That's his best scene.
Are you going to cut her meat forward to there, Cal?
That's the best scene. His other best scene is the... I put the necklace in the jacket. I put the jacket on the girl.
I put the jacket on her. And his little butler asshole. Funny. The woman slipped so suddenly and you still had time to remove your jacket and your shoes.
To end our show here on our last episode of the year.
Really showing how often I've seen that movie.
Yeah. To end, even though you're misquoting half of it to me, entire movie.
It's just that one.
And then it gets to that scene, and I'm like, Victor Garber didn't say anything.
I don't know why I think he does. It must be something that, like, is misquoted somewhere else.
Probably.
That, like,
Probably
saw
Titanic.
No, because that's the woman in the picture is me. Because she doesn't say that. In the actual movie, she says, well, I'll be goddamned. What is it, Anna? It's me. And she's like, let's get you down for your nap.
How hard would it have been for...
She's like,
how hard would it have been for, well, I'll be goddamn. What is it, Anna? The woman in the picture is me.
The picture is me. If you don't know, Steve Odenkirk? I
think it's Steve.
Did a line of movies with, like, a thumb. With CGI.
Faces drawn on them, yeah.
Bat thumb. And one of them is Thumbtanic. And it is hysterical. It's like 20 minutes long, if that. And the little thumb who has like little like warts on her face to show she's old.
Yeah.
They like show her nudie thumb thing. And then she calls on the phone and first she keeps falling asleep. And then she goes, the woman in the picture is me. And you thought that was in the real movie. And
I did.
I'm like, no, it's not.
I don't think I thought that was in the real movie.
I think you thought that line is what that old lady really did say. I'm like, no, she says, well, I'll be goddamned.
Yeah, I thought they played it up in Thumbtanic, but I thought the actual line was the woman in the picture is me.
No, I'm like, no.
Because that lady does that kind of acting, where I can see her being, like, doing that. Almost where you think that line should end with, like, her looking at the camera. Like, the woman in the picture is me.
Yeah, And it goes, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. To end our last episode of the year.
Really?
Yeah, because next week is Christmas. And then New Year's.
Next.
When this episode goes out, will be this coming week.
Yeah, next weekend is only the 21st.
Yeah, but next week is Christmas.
But right, when it would come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't record them the same morning.
No, but I was forgetting that like it came out on Thursday. So
Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we're going to end with you'll need your phone for this. I'm going to do a little something first because we're going to do our you'll need your phone for the Apple Music.
It won't let me do it.
Why won't it?
Don't I have to log in? It kept giving me shit. Where do I go again?
I'll find it. Hold on a second. Because we're going to do...
Replay? Because that...
Yes. I got an email. Mine was like, listen to your playlist or whatever. Yeah, and then it should give you...
Oh, okay, good. I was clicking on something and it kept making me log in, and then when I would log in, it was like, your Apple account is locked.
So I have to look up... I meant to have ours on hand.
Oh my god. This is embarrassing.
I meant to have ours on hand. The, our Wrapped for the show. Because I did look it up. But I forget. This is the
first time I'm seeing mine, and it's so...
I haven't looked at mine yet either.
It's so shameful. I have to turn it off. It's shameful.
But Jimmy Kimmel gave me the idea to do this. Because he did on his show. Many websites. Spotify, Apple, I think YouTube might... Probably not. No, I don't think
Google gives you like a...
Google kind of does. There are many websites that do years in review at the end of the year. Jimmy Kimmel revealed that I wasn't aware they did this. Pornhub does a year in review. So there is... I'll start with these. The trends that defined 2024. It's top 5. No, top 6. The viral sensation resulted in 10 million Hawk Tuah searches for related content, including the popularity of terms like, and I apologize for this, spit on dick was up 233%, spitting was up 28%, and sloppy blowjob was up 36% in 2024. Animated arousal. Hentai remains the world's #1 search for the 4th straight year.
Wow.
As anime rises 4 spots to become the 7th top term. The popularity of author-created and generated content continues to boom as animation searches grew by 28% and those containing 3D by 19%. Top gaining
3D porn?
Top gaining searches. Well, 3D animated. 3D animation.
Oh.
Top gaining searches included realistic animated, 78% raise, gay animated went up 23%, and Rule 34 animated went up 15%.
What is that?
So Rule 34 is essentially... I'm pretty sure it's something like anything that exists in... I think it applies for everything in, like, media and pop culture, but it might just be animated? I don't know. But I always thought it was everything. But it's like anything that has been made, there is a porn parody of thing.
Oh, okay.
Which I did learn at some point. Not that I looked for it. It came up in like a weird listicle of like something about porn parodies that like shouldn't exist and why do they exist.
Schindler's List?
No, The Grinch.
Ew.
And I'm like, who watched The Grinch and thought, man, I'd love to watch this guy fuck somebody? Like...
The Grinch is probably female.
No, it's a dude.
Ew.
Because they had like...
Is it him and what's her name?
What's her name?
Martha May?
I have no idea. I didn't watch it.
I'm just wondering, like, because
I don't know.
They set that up.
I don't know. It's probably Cindy Lou, because I would imagine...
She's 2!
I would imagine they make her older, because you're not going to put a child in a... Whether it's a parody or not, you're not putting a child in a porno movie.
I feel like that really takes you out of it, no?
What takes me out of it...
If it doesn't, you need to go see a different...
What takes me out of it is the fact that it's The Grinch.
If there's a kid
and I
in there,
saw the poster, and it's not like... It's not just a person painted green. Like, it's in a Grinch costume. Ew. And then I'm like, why? Seek help. Like, if you wanted this, seek help.
Well, you're just trying to be festive.
Going for gold. The 2024 Olympic Games had a significant effect on summer searches as well as Pornhub's worldwide traffic patterns. Sex Olympics won the gold, while Nude Olympics took silver. Athlete searches grew 88% in quarter 3, as did gymnastics, grew 79%. Swimmer grew 101%.
Whoa.
And volleyball grew 165%. Paris, France...
Wasn't there something weird about their uniforms this year?
Yeah, there's something like with how revealing the bottoms are.
Yeah, they were complaining about that.
Or the tops, maybe?
I think it's the bottoms.
Paris, France, and French became the most searched for city, country, and language during the games. Number 3, coworker searches rose 92% as many people returned to in-person offices in 2024.
Ew. That's disgusting.
Sex in the office grew 31%.
Ew!
Workplace fantasy grew 57%. And workplace orgy grew 19%. Fucking coworker was up 69%. Nice.
What the fuck?
Coworker blowjob up 55%. Office affair up 25%. And cheating coworker up 71%. Number 2, interest in wife and marital searches grew as users explored themes of tradition, with amateur wife up 21%.
What does that mean?
Traditional wife, 34%.
What's amateur wife mean? What does that mean?
Well, amateur usually is like you're not a porn star. You're just like, if like you and I made porn, we would be amateur porn people.
So
but I don't know what amateur wife means, because amateur wife
implies that like she's not really a wife yet.
I think amateur wife implies as if
it's
like
an amateur porn,
as if it was like you, like you would be an amateur porn person, and you're playing a wife in this movie.
Yeah,
but yeah, the term amateur wife seems as like I'm just trying it.
What?
This is my test run.
What?
And trad wife was up 72%.
God.
Boundary breaking searches increased, like cuckold wife 8%, wife swap 6%, and wife threesome 12%.
What does wife cuckold mean? I'm the one watching?
Yeah, I would think.
What the fuck? No wife wants that.
Reflecting pop culture influences. Mormon wife searches are up 71%. Yeah, Mormon sex is up 92%.
Secret Lives of
Mormon missionary is up 68%, and Mormon threesome is up 122%.
Oh my god!
Why is soaking not higher?
Well, because that's not very fun.
I got an ad the other day on Instagram for a woman who is a comedian, but she... Because the video that got suggested to me was funny. But then going to her profile, it's a lot of, like... She's clearly got an OnlyFans kind of vibe.
Oh.
And I forget what it says in her description. But she's from Utah.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like... Whatever it says, because I don't think it outright says it. And I'm like, oh, you used to be Mormon.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not... Like, she's not currently. Whatever it said definitely gave the, like, not direct descriptor of, like, she has now left the Mormon church. And I'm like, oh.
Did she leave, or was she asked to leave?
Number 1, demure searches rose 133%.
What is wrong with people?
Mindful pleasure up 112%.
What is wrong with people?
Mindful JOI, I don't know what that means, up 87%.
JOI?
Yeah, why don't you Google it? And mindful sex,
yeah,
up 72%. You've Googled everything else on that phone.
It's probably like... I don't know. JOI.
Do image search.
No. Meaning. No. Jerk off instructions?
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
JOI content.
Yeah. Okay. Modesty increased 77%, and modest MILF increased 45%.
Who went on TikTok this year?
I think that's the tattoo you should get.
What?
Modest MILF.
Like right here? I'm gonna get a tramp stamp.
Right over your heart.
Right, a tramp stamp that just says
MODEST. Just get it across. You got to do modest across these knuckles, then MILF down here. MILF would be like these two.
Oh.
And then MODEST. Oh, yeah. If you cut out the pinkies and you just did these three and then these two, it would be modest MILF.
No.
Winner.
Weird. But, like, who was on TikTok this year? Is that like, saw that very mindful, very demure. I was like, that would make a great porn.
Searches for traditional sex rose 27%, and traditional clothes rose 34%. Don't know what that means. Simple sex grew 55%, alongside authentic sex grew 43%, real authentic grew 39%, authentic couple 28%, ethical porn searches grew 92%. And respectful sex grew 61%.
What does that mean, ethical porn?
I don't know. It's farm raised?
Like everyone is paid equally?
They're free range? I have no idea.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
And like what?
It means that if she's blowing him at the start, he also has to eat her out.
No, I thought it meant like...
Because everyone's equal.
People are... that behind the scenes...
Top searches.
Paid... Is this yours or is this still porn?
This is still Pornhub.
Oh my god.
Well, now it's broken down of like, here's your terms.
This is too much.
This is funny. Too much. It's funny. So the top most searched for terms of 2024: hentai, MILF, pinay. Don't know what that means.
What is it?
Pinay. P-I-N-A-Y.
I don't.
Yeah, Google that one too. Do image search again.
No.
What was it? That went up by 2. P-I-N-A-Y.
I don't want to.
Hentai and MILF did not move. They've been...
Oh, it's like a woman of Filipino descent.
Oh, okay.
So hentai... I could have Google searched
hentai
that.
And MILF went nowhere. They've clearly been 1 and 2 for a while because there's nothing next to them of where they went.
Oh.
Pinay is up 2 spots. Lesbian went down 1 spot.
Oh.
Anal went up. Big ass went up 3 spots.
So everyone's looking for ethical, authentic, modest,
anime went up,
Mormon, but yet anal and whatever else is going up.
Big ass went up. Anime went up. Japanese went down. Latina went down. Asian went up. Stepmom went down.
Ugh.
Cream pie went up.
What? That's disgusting.
Threesome went down. Animation went up. Big tits went up. Massage went down. Cosplay went up. Ebony went down. Blowjob did not move. Weird to see one in like the middle of the road that didn't go anywhere.
We're just here.
Trans went up. Gangbang went down. BBC went down. Wife went up.
Oh.
3D went up. You know what BBC is.
I was about to ask a question that I didn't want the answer to.
I also regret saying that. Because the tone of which I said, you know
I don't know. That's not why I know that. I just
felt... I mean, the sound of my voice does not help, because as you can hear me coughing and stuff like that, like, the depth of this voice saying that does not feel good.
I just do know what those letters
JOI went up. Real Amateur went up. Squirt went up.
Ew! Come on, people. We're over that.
BBW went up.
It's just pee. Get over yourself.
And Teacher went up.
Ew.
These are top stars, but you don't know who they are.
No.
Most search for...
Is Bridget the Midget still around?
She is unfortunately not
she didn't make
on
the cut.
list. No. She might be on here, but she's not...
She's the only one I know.
She's not in the top whatever this is. I don't...
Is she a porn star, or is she just a stripper?
I don't know. Most search for terms in the U.S. Hentai Latina, MILF, Asian, Ebony. Ebony did not move. Lesbian, cream pie, big ass. Big ass went down in America.
What is with cream
BBC
pie?
went down in America. I don't know. Stepmom did not move in America. Anal went up 2 points. Anime, threesome, big tits, animation. Big tits went down. Threesome went down.
Everyone's looking to we're trying to tone it down.
Black went down. Furry went up.
What's the difference between ebony and black?
Not a clue. Okay. I've wondered that my entire post-puberty life of like, what's the difference here?
I just was wondering if there was some...
I think at some point I determined Because again, like,
should I try? I don't want. That's a weird thing to Google.
Going through puberty, I did wonder that. I think one of them has like more interracial.
Oh.
Or can, and the other one is just straight like all black performers. Public did not move in America.
Oh.
And thick Latina went down. Squirting went down in America. In case you're wondering. It went down 2 points. Mature went down 3 points as well. Sorry. Here's what we wanted. United States top relative searches. Terms searched more often in each state when compared to others. Oh. So this is broken down by state.
Okay.
Any state you're looking for in particular?
So I did real quick.
Yeah.
They use, this person is saying, like, when you search ebony on Pornhub, you're going to get, like, African American people. When you search black, you might get, like, black people. You could also get, like, black hair, black eyeliner. People are wearing black. The thing is,
I get you.
So
black is more the color,
and you could.
Ebony is more the race.
It can be.
Yeah, I get it.
That the people are, but it could also just be that something in the video is
Connecticut. Black. Get your shit together.
Uh-oh.
I mean, the whole Northeast. Good Lord. Ugh. Anyways, before we get there, anyone you're looking for in particular?
I want to know Connecticut.
So I'll come from the top. Maine was Harry Bush.
Ew. That's their number one search.
Yeah. Harry Bush in Maine. New Hampshire, enema. Vermont.
Excuse me.
Tattoo.
Okay,
Vermont.
Look at you, Vermont, just being so progressive.
Massachusetts, face sitting.
Ew.
Rhode Island, wedding.
What does that mean?
Connecticut. Oh, Connecticut. Queef.
Oh.
Queef was Connecticut's most top search. What are you doing, Connecticut?
Do you think that that's mostly just like, I just want to know what that sound is?
New York was Turkish.
What?
D.C. was riding.
Okay.
New Jersey was Iranian.
Oh.
Delaware was mature.
What's Pennsylvania's?
Delaware was mature. Maryland was girlfriend. Oh, I feel like that's sad.
Oh, Maryland.
Florida was Cubana.
Sure.
Georgia, ebony homemade.
What? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
South Carolina. Some of these are very telling. South Carolina, wife BBW.
What's that?
That's a big, beautiful woman. I'm pretty sure that's what that stands for. So, like, big. Like that's the porn equivalent of like fat chicks.
Big girl. Okay.
Fat chicks, yeah. So South Carolina was wife BBW. Tennessee was chubby MILF. West Virginia. No, it should not. West Virginia was fat woman. West Virginia's it just says fat woman.
No.
West Virginia.
No.
West Virginia, fat woman.
That's terrible.
I like how it's woman, not women. Woman, singular. One fat woman. Just
give me one big old fatty. Like what? And if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But
Ohio, the home of J.D. Vance, was cuckold.
Of course it was.
Michigan was amateur wife. Wisconsin was P.
What?
P-E-E.
Yeah, but what?
Which when Jimmy Kimmel did that joke, and I'm amazed he did this joke. I get it's a late night show, and this is his last season or whatever, but Jesus, he's showing this whole map. And he's like, Wisconsin is into P, which was something they should be putting on their bumper stickers. Illinois is ASMR roleplay. Missouri is grandma.
Who's looking for ASMR porn?
I could see it.
Or are you just watching ASMR roleplay
Well, I think there's different lanes, because you could probably get ASMR porn that is like actual porn of people having sex. I think there's also a lane though that is just people like, because they make those weird microphones now for ASMR people that are ears. Have you seen those?
Well, and they can do it where like they touch over here and you can only hear it.
But
on
have you
this
seen
side.
those mics?
No.
It's a weird microphone that is. It looks like a 3D printed like, but it's silicone, like an ear on the outside. So I'm sure there's porn that's just women like talking like very soft and very like.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure it's probably dirty talk.
And they're like eating.
Well,
that's a big one.
That could be, but you're not finding that on Pornhub. You're just going to TikTok for that shit. Louisiana was Ebony BBW.
No.
Did you catch that Missouri was Grandma? Did you catch that one?
No.
Iowa's Work Trip.
What?
Minnesota's...
Iowa, where are you going on your work trip?
Minnesota...
Are you coming over to West Virginia for a fat woman or what?
Minnesota's Futa Hentai. South Dakota, Hot Babes. North Dakota, Lesbian Strap-On.
We get it real. North and South Dakota are not vibing together.
Wyoming, Homegrown. Colorado, Foot Job.
Ew.
New Mexico, Housewife.
Oh.
Arizona, Navajo.
Oh.
Oregon, Furry.
Ew.
California,
Stop it.
Friend's Mom.
Okay.
Washington State, Milking.
Ew.
What are you thinking when I say that?
I don't know.
Which body part are you thinking when I say
Boobs?
that? No.
Ew. What are we milking? Ew. Why?
It's not you. It's...
Ew. Why? Why are people the way that they are? Why do you want to watch that?
Hawaii was Oahu. Oahu? Is that how you spell that?
What? Let me...
That's definitely not how you spell that.
Yeah, Wahoo.
So that's what Hawaii's searching for.
Themselves? Nice.
I don't know which one to end on. Alaska is
You
anal...
didn't say Pennsylvania's.
Alaska... Oh, I'm going to end on Pennsylvania. Alaska is anal dildo.
Okay.
Nevada?
Really going for it. Strippers.
Vegas.
Well, you know...
Which Jimmy Kimmel, who I'm pretty sure is from Las Vegas, said, oh, that makes sense if you've been to any other place besides Vegas in Nevada.
Well, you figure like, oh, I'm in Vegas and I want to watch a porn. I might as well
Pennsylvania's. So I've given you all of these. You've heard Harry Bush, lesbian strap-on. You've heard fat woman. You've heard all the gambit of what porn searches could be in the United States, minus the states that are grayed out.
Why are they grayed out?
I'm gonna guess it's because there's laws against you having porn.
Oh, on the internet?
Because we had a conversation in Texas about something with TikTok that made me Google like. That's where I found out, like, if you have a government-issued phone in Texas, you can't have TikTok. Well, there's, like, a real weird thing about porn in Texas. Like, they made it real difficult for people to access porn in Texas. And I'm pretty sure
you'd have to change your
Well, you have to have a membership.
VPN. Oh.
It's, like, a big thing of, like, confirming, like, really confirming that you are above 18 years old.
Uh-huh.
So going past just like, are you 18? Yes. And then welcome in. Like,
right.
You have to make a profile and like do all that shit. And use a credit
card, yeah.
Well, most of them are free.
But you probably still have to give a credit card. And they charge you like a penny or something.
But we've heard all the gambit of what you can get here.
I hope Pennsylvania's trad wife
is... Oh, it is plural. Thank God. We're not like...
West Virginia with one fat woman.
Yeah, we're not West Virginia. Pennsylvania was naked women.
Hey, you know what?
What a boring ass state this is. That our top Pornhub search was naked women.
It's because most of our demographic is older men.
Top 20 countries.
They're going for the obvious, you know?
Top 20 countries by traffic.
What?
So how much?
I'm trying to get to my own music. I don't care.
This is the last one. This is the last one. I
don't care as much about porn.
They were funny. This is the last one. Well, no, the second to last. I will just do Pennsylvania for the last one. Because that gives you, like, amount of time spent on average by state. But top 20 countries is America by a landslide. because that's the bar.
But do you think that it's because of, like, ease of access?
Oh, I'm sure there is. Yeah, but 79.2% of daily traffic. But if you look at the thing, like Australia's, like there's the map, and a lot of Europe is not colored in.
Like, are they even available there?
Time spent per visit. Longest, Alaska, 11 minutes and 4 seconds.
Wow.
Where are you, Pennsylvania? Are you even on here? Yep, we're in the longest. 10 minutes and 40 seconds.
Whoa.
Shortest is
Colorado.
Louisiana. 9 minutes, 18 seconds.
Oh, so not really, like...
Largest duration changes of 2024. Pennsylvania did not change.
Okay.
And if they did, it wasn't anything significant. Washington shot up 66 seconds.
Wow.
Good for them. They're probably getting hymns.
Maybe. They're like, you know what? We're finally fixing some problems we've been noticing around here.
Yeah, I think that's very funny. I'm really glad we did that because I laughed a lot during that.
Those are
this is the last one I'll say because it's the world's most viewed category. So this is broken down by country. Ours is ebony.
Wow.
Lesbian is Canada's.
Sure.
Anal is Mexico.
Didn't they have like a
So to give you the breakdown of North America, it's lesbian, ebony, anal.
Wow.
By the 3 countries that constitute North America.
Didn't Canada have like a lesbian prime minister?
I don't know. 2 large sections of Europe are MILF.
Oh.
Russia is anal.
Ugh.
Lesbian is Australia.
Okay.
All of Africa, except for the ones that are grayed out, is ebony.
Sure. Like, you know what? Nope.
India is Indian.
I like the countries that are just like, listen, we know what we like.
Yeah, I'm staying here.
We like what we know. This feels comforting.
Men's favorite category, Japanese. Women's favorite category, lesbian. Viewed more by women compared to men, scissoring.
So men are like, oh, this is the kind of ladies we like. Women are like...
Solo male.
Ew.
Is number 3. I wouldn't have guessed that. Good for you, ladies.
Ew. That's disgusting.
Muscular men.
You know what
Popular with women.
You know what I'm not watching? Solo male porn. What the fuck?
You don't want to just watch a dude jerk off.
No!
Oh,
No! No!
Alright. Let's get this show on the road here. I did laugh a lot. I'm so glad we did that.
I have to close my Google search so that Google doesn't give...
Can I play games on your phone? Sure.
Well, that won't... That's only in Google.
Oh, God, that was so funny.
My thing is embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
So how are we breaking this down here?
I don't know.
Top songs? Are we going? We're just going down the list?
Mine is terrible. It's so bad. Clearly, I'm not the one using the Apple Music on my phone.
Hey.
Whatever you want to do. I got artist, album, song.
Well, we're going to do all of it, but I just didn't know, like, what... Do you want to just go from the top and work your way down?
Why do you go by songs? Because my songs and my albums are very
we're going to talk about all of it. So, do you want to go from... scroll through? Or do you want to go from the bottom up?
Go with songs. Let's go with songs first.
What's the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
How many do you have?
5.
Mine only have 4. Here, I'll click into it. There you go. Because if you click in, you get 15.
Oh. Oh. Wow. Okay. Not much. We do have some change from last year.
So what do you have?
Last year's...
You doing 5, 10?
I'll go from...
All 15?
I'll go 10. So,
okay.
We did number 1. It has been knocked off even the top 10. International Harvester has been bumped to 14.
Bummer.
From last year. So, 10, we've got Satisfied from Hamilton. You'll Be Back from Hamilton. Still hanging in the top 10 is Old McDonald Had a Farm. Number 7 is A World of Your Own from Wonka. Number 6 is Wagon Wheel. having a shocking
Yeah.
entrance into the top 10. Number 5, no shock, is Yeah. Number 4 is Oompa Loompa from Wonka. Number 3 is Scrub Scrub from Wonka. Number 2 is somehow, with 45 plays, Hot Dog from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. No one listens to this. I don't know where it is coming from or who is playing
Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
Number 1, Tony's favorite song, with 55 plays, Dirt on My Boots by John Party.
Wow, you don't listen to a lot of Apple Music.
No, I don't.
Because our number of plays is drastically different.
No. But it does...
My number 10 alone has 226 plays.
Well, you listen to music at night, and I don't.
I listen to music all the time.
It plays in the car.
So my top 10 for songs, I don't know what my top 10 were last year.
I just know
I could look it up because it's in here, but...
I just know that International Harvest Song is my number
Still
1.
Crazy After All These Years by Paul Simon. The Glass by Her.
Oops.
This Is the Time by Billy Joel. Leave On by Elton John. Turn the Lights Back On by Billy Joel. Believe Me by James and the Shame. She Will Be Loved by Danny Faye. It's a cover.
Mm-hmm.
I Think I'm Supposed to Like This by James and the Shame. Take Me Home by Phil Collins. And my number 1 with 303 plays, Nothing Left to Love by James and the Shame.
I'm shocked that it's not In Your Eyes by...
Yeah, you'd think
What's
going
his name?
by my favorites.
Yeah, it's like always...
So you're doing artist or album?
Album.
Okay. I've only got 12.
I have 15.
Okay. So what are you?
So my number 15 only has 38 minutes of play. So we're showing you how little. So we'll still do top 10. Number 10 is Music is Better Than Words by Seth MacFarlane. Number 9, because I listened to the entire album one time, is Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Number 8 is Willy Wonka. No, just Wonka, sorry. Number 7 is Willy Wonka.
Okay.
Number 6 is It's Time with 88 minutes from Michael Bublé. I don't know why that's on there.
Oh.
Unless, I'm listening to one particular song over and over again. I don't know.
Could be.
Number 5 is the Muppet soundtrack.
Is there any of his Christmas music on there?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't know. Number 5 is the Muppet soundtrack, because Tony was pretty big into that one.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Rent.
Okay.
Number 3 is Mamma Mia.
That tracks.
The first one. Number 2 is The Last 5 Years, the original Broadway recording.
That tracks.
And number 1 is Hamilton.
Of course it is.
With 1,470 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to let you know how many times I listened to the Hamilton soundtrack this year. Number 2 only has 280 minutes.
Yeah. So my albums, I'll just do all 12 because there's 12. We Wish You the Merriest. 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I Think I'm in Love with You, the live version, 13 minutes. Chris Stapleton and Dua Lipa.
Oh, yeah.
The Bridge, 14 minutes. Turnstiles by Billy. These are both Billy Joel. If you didn't listen to our previous episode, 17 minutes. Fathers and Sons, which I didn't care for. That Luke Combs album wasn't
yeah,
that
I
great.
didn't really like it.
21 minutes, and that's because I tried to listen to it.
Yeah.
All. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 23 minutes. Street Life Serenade. These are all because we just did this for the show. 33 minutes. Piano Man, 39 minutes. Cold Spring Harbor, 42 minutes. Here's where it's going to get strange. The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess by Chappell Roan, 61 minutes. Wonka, 109 minutes. And my number 1 album of 2024, Hamilton, 226 minutes.
Well, I killed it. I killed it with my Hamilton listening in 2024.
You want to do artists?
Yeah. I mean, you could probably guess now.
I have 15. Who the fuck is that?
What's going on with mine?
I don't know who this is.
I have 15 too.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So, here, in 2024, I've been listening to The Beach Boys for 264 minutes. Celine Dion, 273. Josh Groban, 286. Here's what's sad, though, because this is John Party, but we only really listened to one John Party song for 291 minutes.
Okay.
So we've listened to Dirt on My Boots about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
11 is Timothy Chalamet for 304. Who are you? Oh, the guy from Hamilton. Anthony Ramos for 335. Renee Goldsberry, 337. Christopher Jackson, 346. Seth MacFarlane, 361. David Diggs, 458. The Countdown Kids, which brings us our Old McDonald, for 461. Philippa Sue, 479. Michael Bublé, 688, which is because of Christmas.
Yeah.
Leslie Odom Jr. for 781, and Lin-Manuel Miranda for 933.
My 15, Meg Washington, which I was like, I don't know who that is. She's the singer for Lazarus Drug, that song from Bluey.
Oh!
She's also the voice of Calypso, but that's why it's on there. That song's on my sleep playlist. 1,103 minutes. Tim McGraw, 1,116. Hugh Jackman, 1,206. Mumford & Sons, 1,275. Green Day, 1,842. The Beatles, 1,868. Nicotine Dolls, 2,061. Shinedown, 2,072. Coldplay, 2,530.
Jesus.
Phil Collins, 2,544 minutes. My top 5, John Legend, 2,622 minutes. Adele, 2,989 minutes.
Oh my God.
James and the Shame, 3,950 minutes. Elton John, 4,372 minutes. And Billy Joel, 7,952 minutes.
I apparently listen to music never.
That's what it sounds like.
But yours plays for 8 hours a night.
No, the playlist isn't 8 hours long.
Doesn't it play all night, though?
No.
Oh, well, even still, though.
Sometimes it does, because Apple Music does that weird shit where it puts on,
infinity.
Yeah, and I don't know it's on, and then I'll wake up in the morning like, why is this still playing? And this song isn't in this playlist. My top genres were pop, country, rock, pop rock, and rock singer/songwriter.
So, I went into artist by month.
Yeah, so did I.
And it was like Kids Countdown, Usher, because we watched the Super Bowl in February, so we listened to nothing but Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we're back to Kids, May, Tony must have discovered Dirt on My Boots. June, listening to a lot of Michael Bublé for some reason. July, Celine Dion. August, September, October, November, Hamilton.
Mine were January and February, Hugh Jackman.
Why?
Which I don't remember listening to a lot of Hugh Jackman in those months, but I guess.
You must have done something and then you were listening to...
I mean, I had songs from
The
Greatest Showman, but like I don't remember listening to them all that often. He would have been my number one artist for those 2 months, but sure. March was James and the Shame. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, Billy Joel. November, Nicotine Dolls.
And then December it says keep listening.
Yeah, because it hasn't done that one yet. What else we got? By month. Top songs by month.
Oh, I have top albums. Oops.
Do I also have albums? I also have albums by month.
Oh, stop it.
So my albums by month. January, Hamilton. February, Turn the Lights Back On by Billy Joel. March is that cover of I Want You to Want Me that's in my sleep playlist. April, Hamilton. May, that country covers Tom Petty album. June, doesn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for June or January.
July, Hamilton. August, that I Think I'm in Love with You, Chris Stapleton and Dua Lipa. September, Wonka. October, Hamilton. November, Holiday for Swing by Seth MacFarlane.
I listened in February to a lot of the last 5 years. No, nothing for January. March was that Imogen Heap the Happy song.
Okay.
April is when I listened to Taylor Swift. But then May I went to Lana Del Rey because I must have felt bad about listening to Taylor Swift. June, nothing. Then July, Mamma Mia. August, September, October, November, Hamilton.
Okay. That was albums.
Yes.
My top songs.
Oh, this is funny, though. My top songs change a lot.
Go ahead.
So January, Wagon Wheel. February, yeah. March, Hot Dog. I don't know what we were doing in March that we're listening to Hot Dog so much. April and May, Dirt on My Boots. June is Latch by Sam Smith.
That's a good song.
I don't even like that one.
Oh.
July, The Power of Love by Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Then we have a weird Oompa Loompa push and pull, or Wonka push and pull. August, Scrub Scrub. September, Oompa Loompa. October, Scrub Scrub. November, Step Into Christmas, because it's the first song on my Christmas playlist. So when it comes on, it plays.
That's why, because my first song is Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
January, Louder Than Words from Tick Tick Boom. February, Turn the Lights Back On. March, Nothing Left to Love by James and the Shame. April, Watermelon Moonshine by Casey Musgraves. Or not Casey Musgraves.
That other lady.
Oh, shit. Whatever her name is. Lainey Wilson.
Yeah.
May, This Is the Time by Billy Joel. June, Still Crazy After All These Years. July, Leave On by Elton John. August, Little Genie by Elton John. September, Day One by Garrett Hedlund.
Oh, uh-huh.
October is Leave On again. And then November, Holy Water by Brett Eldredge.
Oh. Weird.
That was a weird one. I wasn't expecting that one to be... I love that song, but that wasn't one I expected to see. Milestones. Songs played, 1,000, reached March 27th. Artists played, 500, reached April 10th. Minutes listened, 100,000, reached November 21st.
Minutes listened, 10,000. That's... milestone artist played 1,000, reached in September. And then songs played 2,500, reached November 28th.
Compared to last year, top artist, 2023 was Billy Joel, 5,130 minutes.
Oh, no.
2024 is Billy Joel with 7,952 minutes.
So, my top artist last year was Bublé. My top song was International Harvester last year. And Taking It Back by Meghan Trainor was my top album.
Okay.
And this year's Hamilton. That's weird.
My top album last year was Hamilton, 131 minutes. My top album this year was Hamilton, 226 minutes.
Oh,
my top song last year was Summer Highland Falls, 314 plays, the Billy Joel song. My top song this year was Nothing Left to Love, 303 plays.
Oh.
So it is lower. But Summer Highland Falls was in my sleep playlist last year. And then I did that. I wasn't ready for Billy Joel. That's fun. I enjoy doing that. Every year. Yeah, my full playlist you can go on and see. It's 100 songs. At least mine is. 23 by Sam Hunt. A Case of You by Noah Reid. Lucky Girl Syndrome, which is a great song. The Climb. The stripped down version of The Climb by Miley Cyrus. Used to Be Young.
Alright, that's enough.
I was just seeing, I'm not going through all of them.
They have a lot more.
James
There's all
Taylor.
kinds. You can go across the top. It was like all by month. It tells you how many minutes you listened.
This is the playlist that gets made for, like, here's your top 100 songs. That's why I was just, like, scrolling through it real quick. Hero by Enrique Iglesias. Be With You by Enrique Iglesias. Hero by Mariah Carey.
You can't have one without the other.
Yeah, there's some. Oh, Lift Me Up by Rihanna. I forgot about that song. No Woman, No Cry from the Black Panther 2 soundtrack. Great songs. Yeah, nothing else really shocking. Steal the Show from Elemental, which was like, that's up there with the Phil Collins and Tarzan. We're like, what right did that song have to be that good? It's a great song.
Yeah, the movie really grew on me too. Like once we watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then like we've watched it a couple times since then.
Oh, I didn't know this was a thing. We're not going to go into it right now, but I scrolled down on like the home section And it's probably not the same for you. Film, TV, and stage hits by decade.
Yeah, that's fun.
And it gives you all the way back to like the 30s. I didn't know that. That's fun. Yeah, so there it is. Our musical and Pornhub's year in review 2024. If I would have thought to do that sooner, I would have looked up probably more. I do want to, because ours was interesting for the show.
Oh, look what they put.
And what changed and stuff like that. And well, it's like, because it gives your viewers, or your listeners, because it's just for the Spotify.
Yeah.
So your listeners and how that grew from 2023 to 2024, which it did grow significantly. Our top countries, I think, were still America and Germany. And I forget what the third one was, but I'm like, okay. Don't know why, but okay. I'm not mad at it. Our demographic was weird. I figured out that age range because it did give that, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense, kind of. I get it, but it was just kind of funny. I want to say it was like, I almost want to say it was like 38 to 48, like, which I guess tracks, because that's where we're at.
Yeah, but it's where I'm at. I'm 38.
Well, I might as well be.
So we would be, you would think it would be like
I skew older.
30 to 50 would be like the age
Mentally,
range
I skew older, so.
One, it's not.
Or like 30, well, because it's usually like 35 to whatever.
Yeah.
Usually the range.
Yeah, 35 to 50.
I'll look it up. We'll talk about it after the new year. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We hope you had fun. Hope you have a good holiday season this year, no matter what holiday you celebrate. Hope you have a good New Year's. Yeah. Let us know what your top porn searches were for 2024.
These weren't our porn searches.
No, but they were. Do yours line up? Was Pornhub accurate?
Are you in there?
Or do you have a grievance with Pornhub that theirs was inaccurate for your tastes?
Or your state.
Or your state, or your country.
You want to take up that West Virginia's fat woman?
Yeah. Fat woman? Are you from West Virginia and you don't agree that fat woman was the top search? Were you the one searching the most for fat woman?
Yeah, right? Stop it.
Are you from Connecticut and you're really into queefing?
Stop it. Stop looking that up.
Or are you
everyone, Pornhub, stop allowing those porns.
Or are
Stop it.
Or are you a woman in Connecticut? We're like, what is this?
Right, like, did you just want to know what this... But I feel like...
Are you a woman in Connecticut like, have I been queefing?
But why would you turn to Pornhub? Why not?
Well, you don't. You Google it and it takes you to Pornhub.
You know immediately that's not where you want to be. If you have a question, you
never know.
You don't go to Pornhub.
But you don't have a question, you want to hear it.
Yeah.
To know, like, is this what I've been doing? Yeah. Before I consult my doctor. Is this what I'm doing or am I farting?
Let's ask, like, the AI. Play me a queef. They will. AI will play you one, okay? You don't... Let's use technology to our benefit. We don't have to go on Pornhub and literally watch a girl do it. Just ask AI to play you just a short clip.
Oh my god. Hey Alexa, queef.
Yo. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna ask the overlord back there to do it. Because I know it can fart and it can burp. And
well, it can fart, and it tells you, especially, I don't know about this one, but Alexa tells you, like, ask me for a wet, sloppy fart.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I don't.
Because the kids are like, hey, Alexa, fart.
And yeah, sloppy fart, random.
Yeah, and then it's like, ask for a cheek squeaker. Ask for a chair breaker.
It's like, can you stop demanding what kind of farts you can
Next time, ask for a pull the car over right now, because this is going to be wet fart.
Meanwhile, Google just does
there's Kelly over there like, hey, Alexa, queef.
I'm going to try it. We're going to see.
And it's like, next time, ask me for a wet one.
No, that's a different thing. That's not. No, thank you. But if you you want.
Oh no!
You should ask.
It does ask me for a wet one when it's farting. It does ask me for a wet one when it's farting. So if you said Alexa queef, it would do the queef, and then the follow up would be like, next time say, how about a moist one?
Ew. What? But you could. I don't want to say it because it will do it. But you could say, hey, who farted?
Yes.
And then it'll say, like, I'll take the fall this one and fart again to remove all doubt. That's Tony's favorite.
So you're going to be like, hey, who queefed?
I'm going to try it. I just need to know. I need to know if it's going to work. Because she can do a lot of things.
Thank you for joining us. Please don't report this video.
What?
It's not going to be... For what? It's not going to be monetized by any means, but, like, please don't report this video. I would really like for it to stay out in the world. You don't have to watch it, but I'd really like for it to just be. I mean, it's funny. It's all funny. It's all for comedy.
We didn't say anything, like, it was gross.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, but it not, like...
No.
I think people are reporting them for, like...
Well, we've probably talked about worse.
Sex things. Like, you know, similar.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the words, though. We haven't used words like this on the show in those conversations. And so frequently. We use them a lot tonight.
Those certain words, though, are like the clinical, you know.
Yeah.
You're not...
Queef is definitely the clinical term.
It is.
Which is so weird. That's such a weird thing. We have such different carryover of, like, we've changed what you say in your doctor versus what you say in the privacy of your own home. But somehow queef is just the blanket term.
It's so disgusting that people are like, we don't even want to think about it long enough to come up with a clinical term.
I like to think that at home you're saying queef, but then, like, at your doctor's office, your OBGYN says, like, pussy fart.
No. I mean, in reality, it has... I am 38 years old. It has never come up. It's not... They don't ask.
It's not part of your wellness, like your yearly physical?
No.
Like, are you queefing regularly?
No. No.
You're like, has she asked me?
They haven't. It's not even, like, part of the... They ask you lots of questions, and that's not one of them.
Turn and queef.
I can't.
Do you get that?
Yeah, but, like, I can't.
Well, I was just making sure you understood. So I didn't have to
turn
explain.
and cough.
Yeah, turn your head and cough.
But I can't. Also, what are you going to learn?
The hilarity of getting a physical as a man from a doctor, and they have to specify: turn your head and cough. Don't cough on me while I'm cupping your balls.
You know, if that was a female exam, they wouldn't have to. They would just say cough, and women would instinctively.
No, they would not. No, they would not.
They would.
No, they would not.
Men are just like, bleh, let me cough right in your face.
No, they would not. Turn your head and queef. That's the shirt.
Ew. It's disgusting. I have a new OB,
the sides are the stirrups, and then the text in the middle is turn your head and queef.
But, like, even I wouldn't need to turn my head because she's so far away and there's a curtain there.
I know, but it's still, the joke is, the wording makes the joke funny.
I could just cough anywhere I want. There's a curtain there. I can do whatever I want up there.
Oh, God. Thank you for joining us once again. So that's the third time I think I'm saying it. We just keep going on these tangents. We will be back next year. 2025. My New Year's resolution is to get this show out weekly. Whether it is the two of us, whether it's just me.
You.
I would love... Well, I meant, like, every week.
Yeah.
I'd love to find, especially with me being on unemployment in the coming months, for however long that is, I would love to get a weekend where the kids go with my parents to the beach, and then, like, we can do one on Friday, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, or do more than one, and then we can have, like, a small backlog of episodes. So if you get a week where we're on vacation, or you get a week where shit just went totally sideways with the kids and stuff like that, and we just don't feel like it, I don't have to